Ever get that feeling like some pie miners are just like way ahead,
Oh,
Like
yeah.
they found some secret trick to like rack up way more pie.
Yeah, definitely. Some people seem to be mining way more than others, for sure.
Right. It's not just about hitting that little button every day. There's got to be more to it.
Absolutely.
So that's what we're diving into today. Techniques and strategies that the most effective pie miners are using.
Exactly. We've been looking into this and we found some really interesting stuff.
Yeah, it's not like this information is easy to find. It's like those top miners kind of keep it to themselves.
Yeah, it's like their secret weapon.
Exactly. So we're going to break it all down for you, give you the inside scoop on how to boost your pie mining.
That's right. These are the strategies that the big miners might not want everyone to know.
Okay, let's start with something that every pie miner knows about security circles.
Right.
Everyone knows you need them,
Yeah.
but it's more than just filling those 5 slots.
Oh, definitely.
Right.
It's about who you have in those slots.
Exactly. What we're hearing is that you need what they call high-value members in your circles.
Right.
So what does that even mean?
Well, these are the people who are like really active in the Pi network already. They're always logging in, they're involved in the community, and they probably already have a bunch of referrals who are also active.
But basically, these are people who are taking pie seriously.
Exactly. And just having one or two of these high-value members in your security circle can make a huge difference in your mining rate.
It's like they boost everyone else in the circle.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
So where do you even find these super miners?
Well, you can start by looking at who's active in the Pi community forums and groups.
Right.
Look for people who seem knowledgeable and helpful and who are always talking about Pi in a positive way.
So people who are genuinely excited about pie.
Yeah, those are usually the ones who are going to have those strong active networks that you want to be a part of.
It's not just about inviting anyone you know.
Nope. You got to be strategic about it.
Makes sense. Okay, so you've built this amazing security circle with these high-value members. Now how do you keep it going strong?
Communication is key. You got to stay in touch with your circle members. Make sure everyone is still active and engaged.
So what does that look like in practice?
Well, you could send a message to your circle every week. Just a quick check-in to see how everyone is doing.
Yeah, just a reminder to keep mining.
Exactly. You could also set up a group chat for your circle so you can all share updates and help each other out.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Or you could even do a quick call every now and then, just to make sure everyone is on the same page.
So basically, just keep the lines of communication open.
Exactly. The more engaged your circle is, the more pie you're all going to mine.
Makes sense. Okay, so we've got our core security circle locked in, but the research suggests we should be thinking beyond those initial 5 members.
Yes. Think of it like this. Your initial 5 are your starting lineup, but you also need a good bench.
A bench, like in basketball.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You want to have other players ready to come in and contribute if needed.
Okay, I like that analogy. So how do we build our bench for our security circle?
Well, remember how we talked about high-value members and how they usually have a lot of referrals?
Yeah.
Well, when you expand your security circle, you want to be thinking about who else those people might know.
So you're not just adding anyone. You're looking for people who could potentially bring in even more high-value members down the line.
Exactly. It's about building a network that can grow and expand over time.
So it's almost like a chain reaction.
Yeah, you invite someone who invites someone who invites someone, and so on.
And the more people who are actively mining, the more pie everyone earns.
That's the idea.
So it's all about thinking long-term.
Exactly. Okay, now let's move on to something that everyone loves to talk about, referrals.
Yeah, everyone wants more referrals.
Absolutely. But the successful miners we've been studying, they don't just randomly spam the referral link everywhere.
Right, they're more strategic about it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They think about who is most likely to be interested in Pi and who is most likely to become an active miner.
Okay, so who are these ideal referral targets?
Well, there are a few groups that stand out. First, you've got your tech-savvy folks. These are the people who are already comfortable with crypto and new technologies.
Yeah, they're more likely to get it.
Exactly. Then you've got students. They often have more free time, and they're usually open to trying new things.
Makes sense. And they're probably also looking for ways to make some extra money.
Definitely. And then you've got people who live in regions where crypto is already really popular, like parts of Africa and Asia.
Right, those are the places where pie is already taking off.
Exactly. So those are your prime targets. Now, it's not enough to just know who to target. You also have to tailor your message.
Right, you got to make it relevant to them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if you're talking to a tech person, you might emphasize the innovative technology behind Pi.
And if you're talking to a student, you might focus on how easy and accessible pie is.
Right. And for everyone, you should make sure to highlight that Pi is free to mine and it doesn't require any special equipment.
Yeah, that's a huge selling point.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, once you've got someone interested, you need to create some engaging referral content.
Right. You don't want to just send them a boring link.
Nope. You want to make it sound exciting and appealing.
So what kind of language works best?
Well, you could use phrases like start mining free crypto today or join the future of finance.
I like that. Join the future of finance. That's catchy.
Yeah, you want to create a sense of urgency and opportunity.
Make them feel like they don't want to miss out.
Exactly. And don't forget to highlight the benefits of Pi. It's free, it's eco-friendly, and it's easy to use.
Right. You got to emphasize those key selling points. Now, what happens after someone signs up using your referral link?
That's where the real work begins.
Oh, so it's not just about getting them to click the button.
Nope. You need to provide ongoing support to your referrals. Make sure they know how to set everything up and how to start mining.
So you're like their prey mentor.
Exactly. You want to help them become active and engaged members of the community.
Because the more active your referrals are, the more Pi you'll earn.
That's right. So send them a welcome message, give them some helpful tips, and answer any questions they might have.
It's all about building relationships.
Exactly. Okay, now let's talk about how to get the most out of the tools that Pi Network already provides.
Right. There's more to Pi than just the mining button.
Absolutely. One of the most important tools is the Pi browser.
A lot of people probably just use it for browsing the web.
Yeah, but it's actually much more than that.
Really? Tell me more.
Well, the Pi browser is designed to be the gateway to decentralized applications, or DApps.
dApps. I've heard that term, but I'm not really sure what it means.
Basically, DApps are applications that aren't controlled by any single entity. They're built on a decentralized network.
Okay, so how does that relate to Pi?
Well, the Pi network is also decentralized, so DApps are a natural fit.
So there are dApps that are specifically designed for the Pi network.
That's right. And these DApps offer all sorts of possibilities. You can use them to earn more Pi, you can use them to buy and sell goods and services, and you can even use them to participate in governance.
Wow, so the Pi browser is like a portal to a whole new world.
Exactly. And the successful miners are already exploring this world. They're using DApps to expand their Pi holdings and to get involved in the Pi ecosystem in new and exciting ways.
So we should be checking out these dApps too.
Definitely. It's a great way to get more out of your Pi experience. Now, another important tool is the Pi wallet.
Well, I've got mine set up already.
Good. But are you familiar with all of its features?
I think so.
Well, the Pi wallet isn't just a place to store your Pi. It's also a tool that will allow you to participate in the Pi economy when the main net launches.
Oh, right.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to know how to use it properly.
Exactly. You should make sure you understand how to send and receive Pi, how to stake your Pi, and how to interact with dApps using your wallet.
So it's kind of like a practice run for when Pi goes live.
Exactly. The better you understand your wallet now, the more prepared you'll be when the time comes.
Makes sense.
Okay.
And finally, the research also mentions engaging with the broader Pi ecosystem.
Yes. This is about going beyond just mining and really immersing yourself in the Pi community.
So what does that look like in practice?
Well, there are all sorts of ways to get involved. You can join Pi groups on social media, you can participate in Pi events, and you can even contribute to the development of the Pi network itself.
So it's about being an active member of the community.
Exactly. And the more involved you are, the more you'll learn about Pi and the more you'll appreciate its potential.
It's like anything else, the more you put into it, the more you get out of it.
Exactly. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground today. We've talked about how to build a strong security circle, how to find and support quality referrals, and how to utilize the tools that Pi Network provides.
And it's clear that the most successful Pi miners are doing more than just the bare minimum.
Absolutely. They're taking a proactive approach to mining. They're building relationships, they're exploring new opportunities, and they're constantly learning and growing.
And by following their lead, we can all become more effective and successful Pi miners.
That's right. We're all in this together.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you with a question. Which of these strategies are you most excited to implement?
And how has this discussion changed your perspective on Pi mining?
We hope this information has empowered you to take your Pi journey to the next level.
Thanks for listening.
We'll see you next time.